Hello everyone, it is Maven. We are here to read the Galahad Creative blog post for Idlemmo. So today's blog post is about the Idlemmo V0.55.0 preview, pets, quests, parties, leaks, and more. Posted October 2nd, 2025 by Mike. So this post is a little bit older, but it's still recent because we're waiting for the update. So let's read this. We're excited to share a sneak peek at the big update for Idlemmo and everything that's coming with it. So let's jump right in. Pets. Let's kick things off with pets. A lot has changed here. We've always wanted pets to feel like an important part of Idlemmo, but the current system has some clear problems that needed attention. Before we get into what's new, let's take a quick look at what hasn't been working. Pet loot. The biggest issue has been loot from pet battles. At first glance, pets don't look too strong here. You send a pet off to battle, it comes back with a small amount of loot, and most players probably don't notice any real problem. The problem is that pets aren't tied to the same concurrency limits as characters. Since they're treated as separate entities, players could send pets from every character into battle at the same time. That meant some players were running 50 pets in battles at once, which of course led to a ridiculous amount of loot piling up. To be fair, it takes a considerable effort to reach that point. You'd need to hit level 100 in Pet Mastery, train your pets to battle in the same area, and collect enough strong pets to send out together. But even with that effort, the payoff was far beyond what we ever intended. As game developers, one of the hardest challenges we face is making sure everything feels natural. Limits certainly need to exist, but they should flow into the game in a way that makes sense, without players feeling like they've hit a hard stop, unless there are no reasonable alternatives. Mechanics should work together, not clash. Getting this balance right is tricky, and often comes down to carefully considering how the different systems overlap and where their boundaries really are. With pets, this has been especially difficult. Pets function as completely separate entities from characters, so it's never made sense to simply apply the same rules to them. We could have done something like, you can't use pets on more than 3 characters at once. But that creates its own mess. It doesn't feel natural, and it leads to questions like, what if pets belong to characters that aren't actively doing anything? Is that a violation? Do we only allow pets from characters who are currently active? That ends up confusing and clunky. We've held back from enforcing a quick fix because we always wanted pets to be more than just a side feature. Pets should feel powerful and worthwhile if you put effort into raising them. And while it's true the current system rewards that effort, we think the barrier to entry could be set higher, and the limits could be introduced in a way that feels natural rather than forced. That's the balance we're aiming for, and we'll go into the solution later in this section. Alright, let me take a break to get some liquid. I hope y'all are having a wonderful morning. It is a nice, cool morning for me. No pet rotation. Right now, there's almost no reason to keep more pets in your inventory beyond the ones you send into battle and the one you have equipped. Anything beyond that is basically just for collection. That's not great. In most games, even if you have a main set of literally anything, pets, skills, card decks, etc., there's usually some kind of rotation or variety in play. In Idlemmo, since actions all run concurrently, there's no need to rotate between pets at all. Happiness and hunger. Let's be real, it's a pointless mechanic. The idea was that it would create some sense of connection or interaction between pets and players, but it never really landed. There's not much more to say here. It doesn't add anything meaningful, and in practice, it's just a waste of time. So they will probably be removing it, is what they're saying. What we're changing with pets. Pet hunting. And as you can see, there is a little screenshot of what they're testing and showing off. And we have a worm shadow here. And it shows what location it's in. You have its information, status, stats, effects, and more. Its health. It's in Bluebell Hollow currently, and you can cancel its hunt. And then it shows its hunting, and it shows when it'll return, and it'll show its evolution level and its level. Evolutions will come up soon, I believe. We are introducing pet hunting. It's pretty straightforward and works just like battles. Your pet goes out on a hunt, and when it returns, you'll have stacks of enemies waiting for you. This should help reduce the repetitive nature of hunting on your own, which many agree is one of the most tedious mechanics right now. It also adds a more dynamic layer to gameplay, since you'll be free to take other actions while your pets are out hunting. Just like battles, you'll be able to send up to 10 pets at once. The more pets you send, the more enemies you'll have waiting at the end. The limit isn't enforced alongside battling either. It's a separate limit, meaning you'll be able to have 10 pets battling and another 10 hunting. That said, I don't expect pet hunting to match manual hunting. Hunting yourself will always yield better rewards. The effectiveness of pet hunting will depend on 2 stats, movement speed and agility. Agile pets will bring back better results than slower ones. Pet status rework. We completely removed hunger and happiness from the pet system and replaced it with a new fatigue system. And then it shows the health and the stamina, and I believe the stamina is part of the fatigue system. Oh no! An energy system. The devil! Wait, hear us out first. Fatigue isn't here to create hard caps or drain resources. It's been added as a natural alternative to limiting how many pets you can send on battles or hunts at once. On that front, nothing has really changed. Pets will still work the same, but fatigue gives us a way to naturally control how much loot pets can bring in. After completing a certain number of cycles, a cycle is 1 full battle or hunt, a pet will need to rest. During that time, you can either wait for it to recover or rotate in another pet. This solves a few problems we talked about earlier. It creates natural restriction on loot without relying on hard rules. It breaks up the rate at which loot can be gathered, but it doesn't remove the possibility of pushing further if you've invested in enough pets to rotate through while others recover. In other words, the system actually gives a real reason to have a wider pool of pets rather than just a handful. Stamina can only be recovered through rest. There are no items, no gold sinks, no premium shortcuts. The only way to recover your stamina is by letting your pets sleep, which takes time. But do not worry, it won't be too obtrusive. We don't want the stamina system to turn into another annoyance. Pets will be able to complete plenty of battles or hunts before reaching 0 stamina, but once they do, they'll be out of action for a while. Fatigue is based on a pet's level and quality. The higher the level and better the quality, the longer they'll last before needing rest. That means mythic pets in particular will stand out even more, giving players a stronger incentive to chase the very best. Pets sleeping, and then we have a diagram of the pet resting, and it talks about it. So, Warm Shadows at Bluebell Hollow. It talks about sleeping restores your pet's health and stamina faster at high pet mastery levels. It is sleeping. It wakes in 36 minutes and 34 seconds. Sleeping is an idle action that lets your pets recover both health and stamina over time. The recovery rate depends on the quality of the pet, so higher quality pets bounce back faster. For example, an epic pet will recover so much more quickly than a standard one. Pet evolution. When a pet reaches level 100, you'll be able to evolve it. Evolving the pet gives a 5% boost to every stat, but resets it back to level 1. A pet can be evolved up to 5 times, allowing for a maximum bonus to 25% across all stats, including important ones like movement and fatigue. And then it shows a screenshot of the evolution section. And it shows you what the bonus would be before and after, and it shows the affected stats. Don't worry about losing your XP. The total amount of experience your pet has earned is saved when it evolves, so no progress is wasted. Pet effects. We reworked the system so that pets can now gain effects, just like characters. It works in a very similar way. At launch, there won't be many ways to give your pet effects, but this opens the door for future additions, maybe even pet potions down the line. We've also reworked padding your pet. Instead of boosting happiness to stop stats from dropping, padding now gives a modest 5% boost, and it shows status effects for the Worm Shadow, just like if we were to put potions on it. Pet exchange, and then we have a screen, somebody exchanging a Fluffy for 500,000 gold. That's a good price, at least to me. You'll be able to sell pets by listing them on the companion exchange. We've gone back and forth on this feature for a long time. There are a few concerns we want to avoid, like making alt trading even more powerful, creating pet loaning systems, or making it too easy to grab top-tier pets at high levels. Pets should always come with a real cost. To make sure that every pet will have a minimum listing value, you won't be able to put a pet up for less than that amount, and the number will be especially high for higher-tier pets. This system is mainly intended for trading high-value pets, such as those that have already been trained or evolved. For example, it could allow players to buy an evolved mythic pet. There are a few caveats. First, as mentioned, the minimum value will be high. Second, campaign pets will have an extremely high values attached to them, to the point where listing them may not even be worth it unless they've already reached a very high level. With the shard merchant now in place to buy campaign pets, we don't want the system to undercut that. And finally, certain unique pets will remain untradeable. They are pets given directly by the developers under very special circumstances. That doesn't mean all unique pets will always be locked, though. In the future, we've considered special events, challenges, or giveaways that could allow unique pets to be obtained and traded normally. The restriction only applies to pets handed out personally, so we don't accidentally give away something worth millions of gold. Shard Mythic Pets. Since we first introduced shards to the dungeon system, we've been eager to expand on them. Shards are in a unique spot right now. They're a rare gameplay-only currency that can't be traded or purchased. The only way to get them is by playing, whether through leaderboards, dungeons, or soon quests, hint hint. On top of that, they're really only accessible in meaningful amounts at higher levels, which makes them a late game goal. That gives us room to experiment with new ways to use them. With this update, we're introducing the very first Mythic Pet Shard. This is a brand new Mythic Pet that can only be attained with shards. The catch is that it won't come cheap. We're talking expensive, really expensive, so be prepared to work for it. Mythic Pets are meant to feel like god-tier assets, and that's why they've always been so rare. We know there are concerns about them being too RNG dependent, so this gives you a different path to get one. It won't be easy, but it's absolutely achievable if you save up and stop burning all your shards on dragon soul stones. Mike calling people out. Want a teaser? Here it is. Our artist really went all out on this one. And it kind of looks like a two-headed Cerberus. Give me a second to drink a little of my liquid. Your girl is drinking apple juice. I love apple juice. Let's get back to this post. Quality of life. We've reworked the pet inventory system from the ground up. It's easier to use, smoother to navigate, and now you can select multiple pets at once to send them on actions. I won't go into every detail here. I'll let you pick up details shown in the screenshot. And for some reason, my screenshot isn't working, so we'll skip it. This update brings new ways for pets to interact with the game. They can now hunt enemies on your behalf, making hunting less repetitive, while also addressing concerns around loot balance and the lack of reasons to rotate through pets. We've got more ideas for where we want to take pets. They're one of our favorite features, so you can expect more exciting additions in the future. This update is about strengthening the foundation and building on that groundwork. Quests. Quests are a brand new feature in Idlemmo that let you deep dive into the lore, interact with NPCs, and take on different challenges. One of our main goals with quests is to give items more purpose. Right now, many items feel a little scattered in terms of their uses. Quests give us a flexible way to fix that. If an item feels pointless, we can design a quest around it and instantly give it meaning. The quest system itself is simple. You open the quest list, which will show current quests based on your current location, and then choose the one you want to take on. And as you can see, this is the quest board, and it shows different quests. Wood for the hearth. Okay. After choosing a quest, you'll go through a short dialogue before it begins. You need to complete the dialogue to start the quest. These dialogues may vary in tone, ranging from funny to over-the-top to more serious. The idea is to give each quest a bit of personality and add some extra flavor to the game. And we have a screenshot here called A Duck's Whisper. And his name is Bankram. There you are. I've been expecting you, in a manner of speaking. I require something rather specific. Duck's mouths. 25 to be precise. Don't ask why. Well, you can ask, but I shan't tell you. Some secrets are best left mysterious, don't you think? I have to ask, why duck's mouths? Because they whisper things, obviously. Tiny truths carried on the wind. Or perhaps I just like collecting odd things. The world may never know. And then you have options. That's deeply unsettling. I'll fetch the duck's mouth somehow. Once you finish talking to the NPC, you'll see an overview page that shows exactly what you need to collect for the quest. And as you can show, Bankworm wants duck's mouths, and he'll give you 2,500 gold for them. When you finish a quest, you turn it in to receive your rewards, and the required item will be removed from your inventory. Quests will range from easy to difficult depending on where you are in the world. For example, quests in Bluebell Hollow will be on the easier side, while quests in the Citadel will demand much more effort. We've also used quests as a way to expand the lore. The dialogue often ties into existing stories and characters. For instance, there's a quest where an archivist is investigating the witch Isadora, one of the world bosses. Some quests can also form chains, meaning you can unlock a new quest after completing previous one if it's part of that chain. And this shows a chain 1, 2, 3, 4 of the quests. At launch, there will be 100 quests. They will vary in dialogue tone, difficulty, and rewards. Some will give gold, while the more challenging ones will reward shards. For now, quests are simple in concept. You're given a task to obtain an item, and once you turn it in, you get the reward. It's a straightforward system by design, but we've built it to be expandable. That means we'll be able to add more creative and complex elements to quests in the future. Parties. Parties work just as you'd expect. You team up with other players, with each party holding up to 4 characters. You'll be able to invite others to your party or join ones that are open. For this update, parties will have a single purchase, which is tied to leagues. In the future, though, we will plan to expand parties with more features and uses. Leagues. Leagues let you compete against other players in parties. Each league forces on a specific skill, and they run for different lengths of time. For example, there might be a woodcutting league that lasts 14 days, where every party in the league competes to earn the most experience in woodcutting. Rewards are still being finalized, but they'll range from unique items to shards. Leagues can last a few days, 2 weeks, or even a full month. Each one is different. There are a few rules to keep in mind. The party leader has the option to withdraw the party from a league. Once your party joins a league, no new members can be added. You can join multiple leagues at once, but you can't change your party until a league has ended. You're free to leave a party at any time, but you won't be able to rejoin until that league is finished. When will this be released? We're still in development, and features like parties and leagues are very much a work in progress, which is why we don't have screenshots to show just yet. Our goal is to have everything finished, tested, and ready for release by the end of October. Ideally in time for the Eve of Shadows campaign, but we cannot guarantee this. Maybe if the stars align. This is one of the biggest updates we've ever worked on, and we want to make sure it's done right. The scope just keeps growing. There's still a lot we haven't even touched on, and with more than 100 quests to repair, the workload is massive. We know we've said that we were moving away from huge updates, but the truth is we just can't help ourselves. Working on bigger updates like this makes us more productive than consistently pushing out small tweaks. Instead of drip-feeding content, we can focus on adding exciting new features, and this time that means like leagues and quests. Disclaimer. As with all our blog posts, everything here is subject to change. This is just a preview to show what we've been working on and to reassure you that things haven't gone quiet. Development is still in full swing, and some of these plans could shift as we go. Only time will tell. And then you can post in the comments here if things are interesting for you. But everyone, this is the upcoming Idlemmo V0.55.0 preview. And I don't know when this update will come out, but I am quite excited for it, especially the pet system and party system. I think both are wonderful mechanics that need to be added or updated. And I'm very excited to see where Mike takes us on this journey. Now, if anybody is still here, have a great day, and I hope it is wonderful. May you see a bird flying today.